Good morning, everyone. How are you guys doing? This is Andrew from below from Jeunesse Global and also the Pivot Group. Guys, just wanted to take a little bit of your time to show you how the new tear sheet works from Jeunesse, or not from Jeunesse, from the Pivot Group that Kirsten and Bo and them put together for us. Immense great tool, guys. Please get your hands on it. If you don't have one yet, speak to your upline so they can send you some, or where you can get your hands on them. So what happened? Benny van Berg recorded Kirsten while he was doing a presentation on this. And he cut it down into a short, like 19-minute version. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna play Kirsten in the background and record bits of it to show you guys how to use it. And then also please note, learn the terminology, memorize it. Visualize what he is doing. I'm gonna try and highlight it on the computer so you guys can see it. And yeah, like I said, get it on the hands, get it in your teams, and make sure you guys use it. So guys, we're proud of you and we're excited to where the business is going. We're feeling the snowball effect now in our team. So go strong, build strong, and we appreciate all you guys. And we're looking forward to building dreams together. So please watch this, memorize, enjoy, and we'll speak later on. Have a great day. And if any questions are there, just leave a comment or contact me personally, where you can get it, or your upline, and then we'll go from there. Cheers, guys.
Everything we're outlining here today is on It's Called Practice. What you're going to leave people with afterwards, you heard Bo referring the prospecting pad. You show the plan on the pad, you tear it off, you stick it in here, and you give them the prospecting pack. Friends, this is not a Jeunesse tear pad. It's not built for anybody else. It's built for the Pivot Group. We're here for the team, and we built it for the team. Now, when you get started with people, we want people to start to identify more with the Pivot Group than with Jeunesse, because the team is the important part of what we build. Remember, you're in this for your family. You build this with your team, and we choose to align with the company that we choose to align with as the Pivot Group. It's a very distinct way that we design how these things work together. So as you get started with somebody, before you get into anything, we need to establish the dream. There's two questions that you ask. Question number one, I'm sitting down with Nick. Nick, you know, I could really speed this up a little bit if you could answer a couple of questions for me. Would that be okay? Nick's first answer, yes. First question is this. If we had to, let's take a hypothetical jump here with me, Nick. If this actually had to work for you, hypothetically, not overnight, but over time. Now you're going to hear a lot of phrases that you really need to learn verbatim, not overnight, but over time. Would you be looking for a supplementary, primary, or something bigger income? And then you let them talk. Now, what I've had happen to me a lot is people say, I don't know, depends on what it is. So I ask the question then, okay, well, hypothetically, if we could match your income with what you're currently earning out of your job, would you be prepared to give up your job? And everyone says yes. And then I say, okay, so you'd probably be looking at something primary. So you can help gauge people through the process. But the question you're trying to get around to, it doesn't matter what they're looking for. The answer is, well, supplemental, awesome. Wow, what are you looking to do? Primary, awesome. What are you looking to do? Something bigger, awesome. What are you looking to do? The reason why we put these pictures here is while you're talking to people, you're tapping on them, and what you're starting to do is you're starting to plant some things in the back of people's minds, which gives them the ability to start to see something bigger than their circumstance. We're wanting people to start to think, because the question that we're going to ask them from there is, okay, well, what are you looking to get out of it? If it's a primary income, what are you looking to get out of it? Well, you know, we've been taking a look at our lives. We've realized we wanted to do a lot more with our kids than what we've been able to achieve. So we'd really like to travel with them a little bit more. We'd like to homeschool the kids and kind of go around the country, or whatever it might be. What you're wanting to do is just get them to volunteer some information as to why they would be looking for either a supplemental primary or a something bigger. The reason being is that gives you the ability to start to build a little bit of dream with them, because those are the hooks that create the ability for you to be able to pull them to action when we close the business preview. And the closing is the important part. So if people say, well, I'd like supplementary because I'm battling to pay my bond. I'd like supplementary because we'd like to put our kids into a private school. Primary because we'd like to get my wife out of work, or I'd like to get my husband home from the Mike and Bean, whatever it may be. The answer is always, awesome. Okay. And you wanted to get one or two things out of them that really have value. And friends, please don't judge what people say. Whatever people say, even if you don't agree with it, doesn't matter. It's their dreams, their ambitions, but you've asked the question, we've started to establish what it is. Once you've got those things, you list them back to them. It's very important. You've got to speak those things back. If bringing your husband home from work, or bringing your wife home from work, if paying the bond off more easily, if being able to afford to send your kids to private school, if being able to earn a primary income so you can travel around South Africa teaching, homeschooling your kids and teaching them about the big wide world, is that important to you? Would you be prepared to make time available in an already busy schedule? Question number 2. If the answer is yes, great, let me show you what we're doing. If the answer is no, well, Nick, I can see I've got you at the wrong time. Let me show you some products I'd love to have you as a customer. What's the point in trying to convince somebody they need to make time if they've already told you they're not going to make time in an already busy schedule? Trust people. So if Nick says, yeah, I would actually, those things are pretty important to me. So we explain the 3 parts of the solution. Okay, Nick, well, if we're going to get you to bring your wife out from overseas or whatever it might be, then what we're going to do is there's 3 parts to this. The first thing is you, and you need to be focused, ambitious, and willing to learn. Now, what we have is 2 other parts to this, and notice we've split them and put you in the middle, but we have our brand partner, which provides the products, the services, the manufacturing, the distribution, and the compensation, and we have our strategic partner, which has the mentoring, the systems, the training, the strategic planning, and the goal settings. But let's start with the brand partner. So we talk about the business in a box. So the brand partner is Jeunesse. So underneath there's a nice little red arrow. It follows straight on. And we've listed 6 things for you so that you don't have to remember them. The fastest company in the industry to $1 billion in annual sales. The fastest growing DSA company on the Inc. 500 list. Operating in 135 plus countries. Nobel Prize nominated physician on the Medical Advisory Board. The only adult-derived stem cell skincare product line. And industry product of the year. Those are all very impressive things. You can list 95,000 other things. Please don't. Stick with these 6. Why? These are the 6 most appealing things. These are also the 6 most researched things about Jeunesse on Google. We then explain the strategic part, the mentoring, the systems, the training, the strategic planning, the goal setting, and we go through who the pivot group is. Now, friends, for Africa, this is a phenomenal thing because we have 2+ centuries of collective successful experience. We have the 31st all-time earner in industry history. We have multi-million-dollar earners. We have 2 of the 52 brightest minds in the industry. Now, how is this for swagger for you sitting down as part of the pivot group in Africa? We are the fastest growing team on the African continent and the highest ranking leader on the African continent. Boom. You don't need to mention anything else. There are a lot of other things you could say, friends. Those are 6 very impressive things. And then what we've done is we've put the youth enhancement system on here for you so you don't have to whip out an iPad and show 35 videos. So what I do, and I'm going to advise you to do this, is I say, we have a product pipeline that is being released into South Africa. What we have right now, however, is our number 1, our number 2, and our number 3 selling technologies in the world. But we have products that will be released into the pipeline as they become available for our market. So what people don't ask you then is, well, how soon is it coming? When they become available. And then you want to highlight a little bit about this. I would advise that on your phone, however, you have the little 30-second WhatsApp clip that we sent out to the team where you see the lady's eye bags disappear in 30 seconds. The nice thing about it is it's so fast, it's visible. And show that to them when you show them Instantly Ages, because you've explained a little bit about this, because we've already said the only adult-derived stem cell skincare product line in the world. We've spoken a little bit about Reserve, and now we've shown them how Instantly Ages works, and we've tied that back into Industry Product of the Year. What you've done is you've created value in what we do. Friends, here's the big thing. If you talk through this effectively here, you don't get asked the question, well, is it legal? The Inc. 500 listing, the quickest to $1 billion. Now remember all the stats that we talk about. When you mention that, the thing that you want to throw out there is, guys, remember, it's companies like Apple, eBay, Facebook, and Google. Learn those 4. I mean, when I first realized we were on the same growth, I heard that in a presentation. I didn't figure that out for myself. First thing I did was jump on my phone and type in Apple annual sales graph. And took a look, and yeah, they had done $1 billion in the 6th year. I thought to myself, wow. The last company I was with just did 180 million last year. 180 million. We did 1.1 billion. That's a 26 or 27-year-old company. Now we're talking about a 6-year-old business. The whole point of having this on here is that you don't have to do anything. It covers everything for you. Page 1 will set you up to show people how to make money. This should not take you longer than 10 minutes to go through. But what we do is we jump into this, and I want to show you this quickly. This is the bottom of the page. Here are all of the figures for you, so you don't have to remember them. And it's T's and C's, which means they're not going to read them while you're showing the presentation, because it's in really small text. Selector pack, basic, supreme, jumbo, ambassador. Set up ordership, there's the figure. Step 1, 150 to 300. Step 2, 900 to 1300. Step 3, 1500 to 2500. Elite, 3000, 5000, ruby, 7000, 10,000, emerald, 17,500, 30,000, diamond, 35,000, 80,000. You don't have to remember them. So the way that we work the business plan is simple. There's 3 modules that we take people through. Module number 1 is how they get set up. Our business mechanism is built for people to get a pack. We don't care which pack. Pick the one that fits your budget and to set up an ordership. If you're not emphasizing those 2 things, you're missing the 2 key pillars of what our business is. So what we say is this. The first thing you have to do is select a pack. There's a basic pack. Notice we put plus minuses. These are all here to protect you in case you put the wrong number down. And in case the pack prices change, which they very well could. But the basic pack, 3,300. The supreme pack, listen to the new price, 8,100. The jumbo pack, 12,100. And the ambassador pack, 15,500. At that point, explain the amount of product that's in the packs is what makes the packs the different prices. You're spending 3,300, you're getting that amount of product plus a little bit more. 15,500, that amount of product plus a little bit more. You can take them through that explanation. If our methodology works, it doesn't matter which pack you get started with. But don't also presume that because you got started at the basic pack that people won't get started at the ambassador pack. Now, you've heard me say there's some business advantages to getting one of the bigger packs in the short term. Explain it to them. Well, this makes you a sapphire for 6 months, which doesn't pay you a sapphire income, but lets you earn as a sapphire for 6 months if you want to get this going really quickly. So if you're sitting down with somebody who has the disposable income and wants to do something quickly, don't force them into a 3,300 rand pack. Let them buy the 15 grand pack if they want to. Allow people to make the decision that's right for them, and also guide people. If somebody says, listen, I'm really so cash strapped, I'm going to try and really stretch for that. You know, we may not eat for the next 3 months, but I'm prepared to do this. Honestly, tell them no. It doesn't serve them when you bankrupt people to get them started in a business that's supposed to create cash flow in them. So there we go, select a pack. Step number 2, set up your ordership. Friends, we don't have a business if we don't help people get a pack and set up an ordership. And notice that we don't delineate the 409 separately. We talk about pack prices including everything. The monthly purchase here, we put in the minimum of 60 CV so people understand that when they go and take a look online. Plus minus 1,250 rand. And then explain what it is. Please mention it's not a debit order. You'll be amazed at how relieving that is for people when they realize they're in control. And you can say something like this. This is my statement in every one-on-one that I do. I say you can increase it, cancel it, reinstate it, decrease it at any time. You can even get it to do the hokey pokey if you want to. You're in total control. Now, it dumbs down something and makes fun of something that people are worried about. There are businesses in our industry that if you cancel your ordership, they charge you penalties. You commit to a year. It comes on a debit order. If you cancel it, you have to pay the remainder of the year in a lump sum. So you want to make sure that people are at ease. And then step number 3 in the first segment of what we do is go executive. Now, if we're going executive, it's simple. You do 100 CV, which you have to do with the pack. Help A, select a pack and set up an ordership. So you're always referring back to the steps. You want to get the duplication in people at the same time. So use your pen. Help A, select a pack and set up an ordership. Help B, select a pack and set up an ordership. That gives them their qualification and their executives. So, step number 1. Please notice this. We talk about the building of executives. We don't talk about the sponsorship. Okay. Step number 1 in presentations will be you need to personally sponsor 4 people and help them go executive. Make 4 executives, I always go back to that. That pays you between $150 and $300 US. Step number 2, personally sponsor 8 people, not 8 more, 4 on top of that, 8 in total. We'll make you a Pearl executive. As a Pearl, you're looking at earning between $900 and $1,300 a month. Step number 3, personally sponsor 12 executives. You become a Sapphire executive and you're earning between $1,500 and $2,500 a month. But that's where we go now. That line over there we put there intentionally. We want you to have a delineation because not everybody needs to understand how to earn 50,000 rand a month. If I'm sitting down with somebody that I know is earning around 4, 5, maybe 6,000 Rand a month, and we're already now talking about doubling their income at Sapphire or tripling their income at Sapphire, then what I'm going to say to them is, listen, I don't want to get into it right now, but what you need to know is that you can make a lot more money, and I'll put a little bit of a plus sign over here as you build this really big. Why? People will get lost in 100,000 Rand a month and think it's going to happen overnight. That's why you planted the seed in the beginning. You heard the one-liner, not overnight, but over time. We're wanting people to have a realistic understanding of what we're doing. So if you are chatting to somebody, however, whose eyes haven't glistened at the $1,500 to $2,500 a month, so what we chat about here now is the minimum amount they can earn in the average. Friends, please learn these phrases. One of the exciting things about Jeunesse is that we can actually quote the minimum amount that you will earn when you get into significant incomes. Little phrases like that give people confidence, because when you say, well, as a Sapphire Elite, you need to be a qualified Sapphire with 100 cycles. Each cycle would pay you $35, which means if you do 100 cycles, the minimum amount you can earn is $3,000 US. That's not a plus minus, friends. If you're a Sapphire Elite, you just qualify. The minimum you'll earn is $3,000 US. On average, however, around $5,000 US. Ruby Director, there's the description of what you need to do. $7,000 minimum, $10,000 average. Emerald Director, $17,500, $30,000. Diamond Director, the figure over there is $35,000 and $80,000 US. Now, what you've done is you've kind of ramped people up. The only reason I ever go all the way to diamond, because that's more than what most people will. I mean, the simple reality, not everyone's going to go diamond, because not everyone's going to do what's necessary to go diamond. But the figure of at the end of 2014, 38, at the end of 2015, 131 people at that level and beyond is a great factoid that you want to throw in at the end there. Those are good things to learn. So how do we get started? You've seen this before. Purchase your product pack and set up your ordership. So we've gone back to reaffirming what the steps are to get started. Number 2, make a list of people that you want to partner with. We've gone back and affirmed the focus of how we're going to go executive. Use the team support to enroll 2 and go executive. You've now tied everything back here so you have an understanding of what the first 3 steps are. Friends, if you can help people go executive over and over and over and over again, you'll never have to work another day in your life. But the thing that you've got to really have in your mindset is it's easy to take people executive. If you make it difficult, it becomes difficult for people. If you create the expectation that it's easy, it will be easy to get there. And the reality is that will unleash people's financial potential just by helping them go executive, because a whole bunch of things kick in place there. So, how do we finish up with this now? The focal point behind it is you've now torn this off. You've got the plan that you've shown them. They've got everything with them. They take it with them, but you have to send it home in this. Because the thing that you're going to say to them is this. Okay, Nick, I've gone through a lot of information today. I know, now you've answered questions. I know you're going to have more questions the second that I leave here tonight. But I'm going to give you this so that you can go and watch it. This is a DVD by a guy called Bo Short. He's number 31 all-time earner. Remember, I showed you that on the business plan. He'll explain this again if you want to go through it and refresh the numbers. On the other side of that is all the product information that you need, because you haven't gone in-depth into product, because you don't need to go in-depth into product. Friends, this is the most freeing business in the world. You do not have to be a product specialist. Show the Mason the Ages video. That's as good as it gets. You fold it up, you put it in the DVD, and you hand it to him, and you say, okay, Nick, I need to get that back from you within, I've got somebody waiting, like 2 days. If it's Monday night now, can I see you on Wednesday evening to get it back? I'll come over to your place. We'll meet, I'll answer the questions that you've got, and we can see how we move forward from there. The important part of this whole process is you've given him something that's yours. That's your opportunity to call back and get together. But you know he's going to have questions. The thing about it is you're answering them with, I will answer the questions that you have, but let's get together and talk about how we're going to move forward. You've got to make positive statements. People say to me all the time, well, what do you say to people when you phone them and you follow up with them? Are you ready to get started? Why would I say, well, what do you think? You know, some people say, well, what was your best part about it? You know, whatever, it's just got to be a positive statement. But if I can get back in front of Nick, we call it a hand bam. You have the meeting. In that meeting, you book another meeting. What happens is that now seals the follow-up for you. You don't have to phone for the follow-up later. And friends, if we understand the cycle, making the list is not hard. Contacting, inviting, most people will work through the fear of doing it. But we do show the plan where 90% of people are lost is the follow-up, because people just don't follow up. Guys, here's the big thing. This pad over here is my pad. I was in East London. We did a whole bunch of personal meetings. I went 6 for 6 with this pad, but I didn't do anything outside of the sheet. Nothing. Because I had to get a duplicating right in the couple that's down there. And 6 for 6. Because the tool works if you work the tool. So get really good at learning these phrases. Not overnight, but over time. If I could speed this up by asking you a couple of questions, would that be okay? All these kinds of phrases that you need to learn. Excuse me, could you help me? If you don't know these things that I'm saying now, then you really need to listen to this. But this is going to literally open up your ability to do something significant. You bolt that together with the tear pad and give it out with a prospecting pack, and you've got the ability to catalyze your business. So here's what happened in Johannesburg. I told you 600% activity up. Friends, we don't ask you to sign 15 people up a month. I don't know if you figured that out. We say get out there and show 15 plans a month. Now the metrics of this are simple. And now Bo can testify to this, I can't. But his statement to me is exactly this. Kirsten, if you can get somebody to show 15 plans a month for 24 months in a row without missing a month, you do 10 months, you do 11 that month, you start again. 24 months consecutively showing 15 plans a month, you're looking down the barrel of a 6-figure income. His simple statements, and this is from somebody who's done this many times, it has never failed me. Those metrics have never failed me. Friends, you take a 6-figure income and multiply that into rands. We're talking big money. Now, you're earning along that process, but it's not signing 15 people up. It's getting out there and doing the activity. The more you do the activity, the better you get at it. The more you do the activity, the better you get. The more swagger you have, which means the better you get, which means you can duplicate that into your team, which means your team gets better. So what happens is you catapult, and actually you can do 6 figures before that.
So guys, I hope this helped a lot. Please get your hands on this. Get your hands also on the It's Called Practice. If you don't have that, it's 2 CDs about Bo teaching on how this is done, and it's what built his business. So please guys, I hope you are building strong, and this will just catapult your business into a new level. Very proud of every one of you, and we're very glad to be in business with every one of you. So yeah, have a great day, and we'll speak soon. Goodbye.